Всем привет. Что, поиграем в некую игру Вампир. Вспомним. Наверное, кто-то вспомнит. Я лично первый раз поиграю. Так, давай маленькие настройки. Видео. Тут все у нас вообще по максимальному. Выставил само. По поводу звука. Давай как-то вот так вот сделаем. Попробуем. Так, если что, пишите. Так, языки, ну, видимо, все на русском, среднем, малый. Так, имя говорящего. Нет тайны смысла. Все, я думаю, погнали. Так, сюжетный режим. Самый легкий вариант прохождения вампира. Вы отказываетесь от вашей части игры. Но зато сможете в полной мере насладиться сюжетом и исследовать мир, ничего не боясь. Вы будете легко побеждать во всех сражениях. Награда за прохождение игры в этом режиме без убийства горожан не предусмотрена. Ага. Стандартный вариант прохождения. Если вы убиваете горожан, ваш персонаж развивается быстрее. Уровень сложности зависит от количества убитых горожан. Интересно. Более сложный вариант прохождения. Ваши вампирские силы зависят от того, кого из горожан вы решите объять. Врагов сложнее убить, но они наносят больше урона. Интересно. Ну давай, обычный. Какая-то темная игра, если честно. Так, интересно. Самое, что интересно, то, что у меня почему-то звук идет на динамике. Ну-ка.
Piercing the flesh of the sinner, one prayer for the summoned, called by this song. Is perhaps the countdown to oblivion.
Что-то я не понял. Так, интересно, Марья Ивановна. А что за фигня-то? Так, а если вот так вот? Нет? Ну, что-то я вообще не понял юмора. И что за фигня? Интересно. Если так.
once proud city of London, 'tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen. The falling of a star, a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is war but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Исана, я что-то не... Исана, я маленько, если честно, не понимаю, почему ролики идут на динамике. С какого лешего? Блин, странно.
Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment, a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
В принципе, субтитры не быстро, я думаю. Нет смысла читать все. Че, мы сразу, да? Лучше события. Прикольно, то ли скрипка, то ли виолончель. Больше на виолончель смахивает. Так, ладненько. Странно, конечно, многие вещи. Ой, я понял. Вот это. Давай, давай. Сенса, конечно, жесть. А убавить, по-моему, не... Ну, потом посмотрим, ладно, тоже. О! Не можем. Чуть-чуть можем, да, ускориться, нет?
Thirsty. So thirsty.
Да, биение сердца жестко перебивает. Да. Ну ни хрена ж себе.
My sweet brother. What have you done?
Mary! Oh, no.
Сеструху, да? Нормально. Там, мне кажется, поздняк.
Hold on. Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary.
Беги, Форест.
No, no. This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain!
На нахер.
These patrols are after me. This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here.
А, прыгать нельзя, да?
This can't be happening.
Интересно.
No, please, stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on?
Жопень происходит, жопень.
What have I done? What's all this about?
А что дальше? Ага, о. Берем. Так, атаки ближнего боя и выносливость. Нажмите, чтобы провести атаку. Посмотрим выну. Ух ты ж, блин, ни хрена себе. На! Мы победили бочки.
Who are you? Stay back!
На нахер.
But you left me no choice.
Пистолет мы не возьмем, мы же дебилы. Мы лучше с мечом бегать.
Who are you? Stupid beast!
Ах ты ж, блин, ни хрена себе. Вот это боевка, конечно, блин. Походу, надо через прицеливание играть. Металлургия.
Please, stop! Who are you? Bloody leech!
Так, ну с боевкой вроде бы немножко разобрался.
I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech!
Сдохни, чертов кровопийца. Ага.
Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's sake? I'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me.
Так, поджарились на солнышке-то.
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone.
Ага, еще максимальный уровень здоровья снижает. Вообще зашибенно. А чё нет-то действительно?
I need to find somewhere to hide. Let me go!
Огнеметчик? Серьезно?
I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place? The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here.
Так, чей-то домик, да? А, сейчас, наверное, будут флешбеки, воспоминания.
Brother, what have you done?
Mary! Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Так, немножко субтитры запаздывают, конечно. А, так. Ух ты. Ширинги. Вампир тоже, походу, был.
Wait. This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Go watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
А, вообще, по факту, получается, это его часы.
That's impossible. Dreams for the Red Queen that sleeps under crown stone, that she might linger longer, her eyes as white as snow. Who goes there? A prayer for the summoned by warrior song. A child born from darkness must take scent of his. Who's there? Are you referring to me?
No! No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Ну, теперь-то можно, я думаю, забыть про это. Теперь только одно дело. Мстить.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now! No. There's time. I can save him. That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital! Done. He'll live. And now what? We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
Ну, так-то спору нет. Патрончик.
No, it never got easy.
Да, оказалось не проще. Прикольно. Угу. Слушай, прикольно, то бишь. Здесь даже идеальный револьвер. Забавно, интересно. То есть тут можно улучшать вещи, да? Это очень хорошо. Так, я не знаю, есть ли смысл читать. Если кому-то интересно, можно, я думаю, на паузу поставить и прочитать. Так, я понимаю, поспать это мы сохранимся, да? Давай. Среди трупов-то спать-то оно самое.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it.
Да вряд ли.
So be it. Rational thinking only.
Нам надо мыслить здраво. Ну-ну. Давай. Ну ладненько, неплохое такое начало. Посмотрим, что дальше. И проснулся все равно. Только кровищу потерял больше.
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon, who changes blinding sunlight into a glowing reflection.
Развитие. В убежищах вы можете отдохнуть и развить навыки. Чтобы повысить свой уровень, улучшить вампирские навыки, вам придется тратить опыт. Выберите доступный навык аутофагия. Вы расходите так собственную кровь, чтобы мгновенно восполнить здоровье. В чем логика? Ну, допустим. Пассивка, да, вампир применяет силу своей крови, чтобы восполнить обычный повышенный. При состоянии мышц, нервов и костей со временем этот вампирский навык становится настолько сильным, что обескураживает даже бывалых охотников на вампиров. Они быстро регенерируют. Так, вампиры отнюдь не бессмертны, они регенерируют, но стоит лишь лишить их этой способности, как они перестают быть непобедимыми. Я понял. 1700 опыта, да? Здесь, кстати, и развитие идет, да? Прикольно. Необходим 6 уровень. Так, у вас достаточно опыт, чтобы разблокировать наступательный навык. Выберите один из них. Активный, оборонительный. Наступательные, сверхъестественные. Так, а чё это вообще за фигня-то? Дикая жажда. Объем крови. От укусов в бою. Да, прикольно. Теневой туман. Выращивать теневое облако у своих ног или у ног у цели. Облако взрывается, нанося большой урон. Забавно. Когти. Урон всем живым существам перед вами. Блин, это из крови, это тень. Давай, туманчик, наверное. Блин, или копье, или туман. Блин, я даже не знаю. Надо бы все, конечно. Но, блин, тут кровь тратится. Тут давай это выберем. Туман. Также тени, который взрывается по окончании обратного счета. Игла. Все расстояние. Так, так, после чего теневые иглы поражают все цели, находящиеся в стороне, вызывает они, который при этом теряет противника, поглощает вампир. Прикольно. Зашибись. Тактические. Теневая завеса, пикирование, свертывание. Прикольно. А вот это, блин, надо будет обязательно. Ну ладно, да, окей. Магия! Магией тоже обзаведемся.
That voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Добью добраться, да? Погнали.
Where is it? It's closed.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Here's the leech. Here!
Oh, fuck you!
My head's spinning.
Oi! Come out, you coward!
It's locked, all right.
Так, ключ от убежища. Чтобы носить удар оружием для левой руки, нажмите это. Правое оружие обладает особым эффектом, расходует и... Нажмите это. Прикольно.
I cannot enter.
Нельзя, да?
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End.
Домой.
Go back home.
Die, vermin!
А-а.
strength I never knew I had.
Так, а что, я могу спрыгнуть, да? Давай поищем тут всякую хреновину. Ну ладно, не так, не давай.
Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire.
Вообще тут сейчас до хрена надо.
Feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
Да.
My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
Ой-ой-ой. Подожди, надо все собрать. Да, конечно, надо... Блин. Ёпта. Игровой процесс. Перевязка управления. А как сенсу уменьшал чувствительность? Да, хотя бы. Троечку. Бля, ну это получше, чем это дергание. А нет никакой чуйки-то. Нет, вампирской. А, сюда вот можно. А ну-ка, пойдемте. Что у нас тут? А, это я в город, да, поднимусь? Ну-ка, что у нас тут такое? Ты нужен королю в стороне, вступай в армию моих... Так, ага, я понял. Вступай, помоги.
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. This is despicable. It's locked. The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. What will London have to say to me? I've so many questions unanswered.
Так, приблизить, отдалить, централизовать. А как двигать-то? Как? Бред, конечно, ну ладно. Так, а у нас вообще-то пистолет еще есть. Ну, не будем, нам пока надо еще сыворотки. У нас, кстати, и патронов-то, по-моему, нету ни хрена. Короче, я понял, надо повышать уровень крови, высасывание этой же крови. Ну, Я понял, можно было приплыть, а можно было и пробежать.
Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum? The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
Вот, я говорю, должна быть чуйка-то.
Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
А смысл? Мы тут по факту и не... Обычная рукоятка, спусковой механизм. Но мы вообще-то этими и не пользуемся обычно. Детали улучшения оружия. А, надо 3. Я понял. Нужно переработать. Масло. Я понял. Ладно, пошли искать дальше убийцу. Смысла что-то нам тратить нету. Еще надо разобраться, где что искать, вот это дело. Ну, судя по всему, это какой-то уже 19 век, да?
At last, a little life.
Welcome, sir, to the turquoise turtle.
Whoever he may be, the killer recently entered this bar. Maybe some of the locals saw him.
Not long ago, this...
Hello, sir.
would have given me a
Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom, then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
Ну-ка.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows.
Пес.
People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu.
Испанка.
Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
I just want to talk.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's...
I only see you.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course.
I'll leave.
Так.
I think drink no longer stirs me.
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boots.
Ничем не болеет. Интересно. Ха-ха. Прикольно, слушай.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders?
Убийство.
Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Помойный пес.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
Так.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
Окей.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Ну-ка посмотрим. Переутомление. Ха-ха. Качество крови. Ну-ка. Интересно. Ха. Прикольно сделано.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here.
Нормально.
We're on our own. People die in these
Может
parts
делать,
all
что
the time,
хочет.
and no one cares.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
Who is this
Интересно.
man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
I think drink no. Longer stirs me.
Так, окей. Он наверху, да?
Poor Jack.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area,
They do not pursue me.
but they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain?
Ван Хельсинги.
You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you? I mean you no harm, saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word. With anyone.
То есть еще верующие эти всякие.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
С вампиром. Интересно.
And who might you be?
Интересно, нифига себе. 6000 опыта.
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docs have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We are both chasing the same shadow.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Зашибись, то еще религиозные вещи нас, да, могут ушатывать. Да, прикольно.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight.
Cannot see me now.
Someone must know something.
Evening, sir.
I have a few questions. I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop.
Sure.
He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent.
Походу,
Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret?
Вампиром стал.
Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure.
Так, вы получили подсказку. В ней содержится личная информация о гражданине или человеке, который с ним связан. Ага. Том. Прикольно, слушай. Тяжелое состояние. Допустим.
Hello, sir.
And you're still ugly as sin.
What's going on?
You must be new here.
You may... I'll leave you.
Welcome back.
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Поделиться своей информацией. У вас есть подсказка. Синяя строка. Ага.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Who is he?
William? Just an old sailor who loves his...
Is he dead?
Yeah, like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite.
How was he tonight?
Oh, sicker than usual, perhaps.
Why lie to me?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced...
Ну, правда, в принципе.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency.
Где он?
Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
Are they stupid or something?
Блин, это, конечно, будет интересно. Мы, если будем убивать граждан, у нас с миром станет маленько жопень, да? А как нам добраться туда? Ну, туда выйти.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city?
Умер, да, походу?
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. What's this? Some sort of note. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Ну так, прыгаем. Прикольно. Патроны. Обычный урон. Так, и урон. Не забывайте, что патронов ограничено.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
А как это? Вообще-то странно. Мы же не можем скрытно передвигаться-то.
If the man says a bloodsucker's dug in here, you've but one job, and that's to find it. And find it fast.
It's fair enough, Tom. There's safer places to be than here. It's damn cold.
Алюминиевый осколок. Прикольно. Нам в любом случае туда топать. Увидите их досье. В соответствии с 4 видами урона: физический ближний бой и дальний бой, сопротивление, магический, кровь и тень. Оранжевый цвет означает среднюю устойчивость, красный высокую. Так, ага, я понял. Ни хрена. Ну, с боевками, да, надо привыкнуть. Блин. Сори. О, их там много.
Stupid beast! Ah! Filthy piece of shit!
Все, патроны, патроны. Ближний, да? Ладно.
Look at it! Gone up like
Интересно. А, ну тут дробовик, я понял.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Кровь пополнять через это, да?
over there!
Нет, да ничего. Слушай, ну блин, качаться надо жестко. Да блин, даже не чихнуть, зараза. Сильно так как хотелось бы. Свинцовая. Вообще-то уже, походу, надо иногда заходить и заглядывать сюда. Тут всякие ресурсы валяются. Прикольно. Так, ну опыта у нас опять же нету ни хрена. Поэтому выходим.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I'll not betray your trust. It's this first, you see. I'll need a drink. I'm so thirsty, William.
Так, задействовать особое свойство личного оружия, выбейте его и нажмите правую кнопку. Например, можно наносить удары. Если вы действительно наносите врагу большой урон и улучшите его. Давай. Ни хрена себе. Сыворотки способности.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
you're my
This
last.
creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Ни хрена ты. Ай-яй-яй. Ну, забавно, то есть тут еще и боссы есть, да? Я тоже так могу, чувак. Ай-яй-яй. Ок. Охренеть. Не хочется пистолет тратить пока. Старая палица. Ну, относительно... Блин, наверное, проще было с мечом. Да. Все-таки проще так. Охренеть, конечно, он народу тут сожрал. Слушай, а если мы будем ломать вот эти вещи, ничего нам не даст? От нас вообще, да? Да, печально.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Ну ладно. Так, все, да? Город взяли, то взяли, всех переушатали. Кого могли, блин, а что тут? Жизнь такая. Прикольненько, прикольненько.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reid.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Rид. A surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reid. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital.
Вампиры?
As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reid, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful
А
friendship.
что ты будешь делать с жаждой-то, а? Замечательная идея, блин. А если больницу мы всю сожрем? Ну, по крайней мере, нам чума никакая не страшна.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy.
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reid here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes.
Да, мы искусные переливальщики.
Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Хотя бы приоделись более-менее.
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Rid.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me through that place.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
А как понять?
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
А, нам в любом случае дают, да, типа это. Да ладно.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Да. Ну ладно, надо смотреть будет. Пружина.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Ладно, пошли. Спать, отдыхать, вкачаемся. Шиллинги тоже непонятно нахрена пока нужны в этой игре.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Окей. Так, как поживает мистер этот?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
If you could...
Second floor of the hospital.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Так. Тут где-то еще была сестра. Побазарим с ней. Походу приходится придется все это делать.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid, the new surgeon.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir.
Did he really? It's a good...
All members of staff have already read about you.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the...
How are things?
Not good, to say the least.
An invisible enemy.
Sorry, Doctor. These last...
Do you think this hospital...
We are all volunteers here, and we're
I'm not familiar with all the stuff.
brilliant professionals, most of them.
Most of them. Is the...
It would be inappropriate...
Is there anyone...
Well, I have never met...
Why should his aid...
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the...
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know...
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the...
Окей. Окей, попроще. Так, доктор Корген Типец.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reid has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before. at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippis, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please...
This hospital is not exactly the best of it.
It's more than enough. In any case...
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about...
Some are really good, and others are not so.
Tell me more.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful...
You really seem to admire her skill.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine...
Any opinion?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up...
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the
Давай
last
спать.
rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried.
She should not have told you that.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan...
Goodbye, Dr. T.
Да. Сейчас мы везде тут все походим. Давайте с этим побазарим. Кто такой? Почтальон?
Good evening, sir.
Нет.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reid. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reid. Perk of the...
I'm not sure I understand...
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war.
No need to explain, Dr. Reid. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Смотри-ка.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful.
Are you really smuggling weapons?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by...
But you're not defending yourself.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped from the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what every...
Я понял. То есть по факту мы можем всякий вот этот, да, хлам покупать. Не дешевый хлам, хочу сказать, я, однако.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably...
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse.
Да, здесь, конечно, можно так базарить и базарить без остановки. Без остановки.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
The pain. It's here again.
Да. Надо бы поспать, маленький опыт распределить, да, наверное, нужно. Да, то, блин, слушай, базарить и базарить на самом деле.
And you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reid. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reid.
Да, здесь, конечно, вообще же...
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reid. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help?
Well, yes, maybe.
Do you want me to play the error?
Oh, no, Dr. Reid. But if you went personally to him...
I see. Well, give me the... You seem quite optimistic.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test.
Questions remain about...
True. Last summer...
Так, о, что такое?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Goodbye, Doc.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
Так, теперь самый важный вопрос. Как нахрен подняться на второй этаж? У меня тут была лестница. И еще запасы какие. О, что-то есть. Маленькая бутылка. Ладно. Погнали. Да, тут чешуеть, если честно. Старая пила. Нормально.
I cannot enter.
Доктор Рид.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Вот ж, блин. Ладно.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Да. Иконах.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
А, он уже нам жалование, да, будет платить-то, в принципе. Так, полночь в саду добра и зла. Блин. Слушай, да ладно, давай в сад сходим. Тут базарить, конечно, очень долго придется со всеми. Тут что-то машины. Так, и...
It's locked. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Ни хрена себе. Нифигашники себе, тут что-то происходит. Жесть. Тут стена сломана. Ну, вообще заделать надо как-то, наверное. Ну ладно, погнали. Наш город, походу, такой коридорный будет. Ну и хрен-то с ним, как говорится. Сейчас квестик сдадим. По мусорке полутаем.
It's locked.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad...
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights...
Do you work here?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is...
Why do you have to...
Because these poor fellows have known...
Why close the hospital?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic.
Так, а чё ты торгуешь? Блин, опиум, Загадочный рецепт.
It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead, seem peaceful and lost at the same time.
Не, пока не будем базарить.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save...
I have some good...
What?
I retrieved your wallet. With all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
Goodbye.
Так, погнали изучать кровь. Потом остальное походим. Давай, наружку посмотрим. Вопрос, а нахрена? Я понял, это для прохождения квестов. Свинцовый пруд, свинцовая пластина. Давай разберем. У меня вот что вот вопрос интересный. А есть ли смысл вообще вот это вот не докупил? Вообще улучшать? Все, наверное, бак. Ладно. Старый мачете. Топорик. Так, ну, установить 300 единиц здоровья. Затем 100 здоровья за 15 секунд. Прикольно, раствор гиплохлорида натрия нужен.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Давай подрыхнем. Поспим, прокачаемся. Так. Очки здоровья. Увеличить запас. Вот, блин, увеличить запас крови. И вот что надо даже там. Ну ты ж, блин. Нам вот это бы надо тоже все. Блять, на 5%, серьезно? Туристам, давай тоже. Выносливость тоже. Мне надо сначала, я думаю, пассивки вкачивать. Потому что без этого вообще никуда. Сколько надо-то? 600. Ну ладно, потом накопим, вкачаем. Угу. Так, пассивки мы вкачали. Еще больше опыта, каким-то образом зарабатывать. Ага, я понял. Конечно, надо тут со всеми базарить. Я понял. Ну, так мы еще и в порту, да, не везде все нашли. Надо будет тоже возвращаться. Доктор Крейн, Дороти Крейн. Блин, надо и базарить со всеми.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Да, о, ни хрена себе, прокачал я столько хп и всего прочего. Блин, надо со всеми базарить, базарить, базарить и базарить, да?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient.
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of...
I see. Don't worry.
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturne.
Да. Психушка знатно по ней плачет. Так.
It's locked, all right.
As for me, blundering idiot. How can we be sure we're making a difference?
Да, с ним побазарим. Блин, со себе придется разговаривать.
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Ну-ка.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reid.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reid? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Ну да. Так, вот, что такое?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children?
They were smaller then.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Так, я так понимаю, врач еще один это вот этот, да? Дебилоид.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Aykroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Aykroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Дилетанты.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Aykroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reid. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Думаешь, чувак, да?
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Так-то да.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Блин, интересно.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my pup...
It seems you have bad...
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved...
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Thank you for your...
Ладно, пошли в морг. Ну-ка, давай с этим побазарим.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed?
I really don't want to talk.
No offense. I was pushing too.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless. I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's
То, что она
hope.
красивая, как бы остается.
So do you let her bite you?
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood.
She could decide to bite less.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed.
In her madness, she never refers to my scar.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Окей. Ты кто такой?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reid, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion.
You remained perfectly nice and...
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I...
How did you end up in William...
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior.
Why did...
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood.
You dared to enter this awful place alone?
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reid.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the...
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old...
People are still in...
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left...
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing...
What is the general...
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
How do you feel, Mr.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea...
Thank you, sir. I believe all I...
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton?
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks.
Are you a priest, Mr.
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is not...
Ну, надо спать, действовал.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet...
You never came...
You're preaching to the
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Так, там еще где-то была пациентка. Это морг. Да, там она. Как я туда попадал? Так, я туплю уже, да?
Blundering idiot.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about...
Not much to say. Just take care.
Are you really that rich?
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace.
May I ask...
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who...
What do you think of your reception here?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no...
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mrs. Go.
Так, я понял, что там за это. Ну давай.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Так, а что у него случилось?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to help.
Pembroke Hospital may look...
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can't...
That's tempting, Doctor.
How painful...
So painful I'd rather not talk.
I'll let you get...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Интересно. Вообще глаза, да, стали красными. Если я так понимаю, это вообще никого не волнует, да?
I cannot enter.
А, там дверь с другой стороны, да, должна быть. Так, есть тут еще вардулаки всякие? Вроде нету. Так, где-то внизу и где-то наверху. Обанна. Падла, умри. Блин.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. It's locked, all right.
Дверь заперта. Патроны. Пока что, опять же, я говорю, я не вижу смысла стрелять и так далее. Так,
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Давай на третий сходим. Образец густой крови. Окей, пошли вниз. Ух ты ж, блин. Что это было? Что-то мне сыкотно. Блин, если он телепортнулся. Так, ух ты.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Ты падла. Как я и говорил, проще все-таки через прицел иногда играть. Так, а что у нас тут? Тут есть еще патроны. Так. Ни хрена себе.
It's locked.
Типа оглушение. А это поглощение крови, я понял. Там от них хрена тут страсти. Просто круг, да, сделал? Окей, пойдем сюда. Пум-пум-пум-пум. Ни хрена себе. Сюда. Офигеть. Да.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Так, что, все, да? Убили босса. Это понятно сейчас. Ну давай, забираем.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
а что мы можем? Тут нет. Прикольно. Так, а самое что на есть интересно. Мы ключик так и не нашли. Как сундук открыть?
It's locked, all right.
Не сильно понятно, ну да. А, опять. Мимо. Так, нам сюда. И опять тут всякие эти, да? Надо копье изучать. Что-то как-то заново все отрезалось, да? Часы опять я нашел. Так, а может еще дубль номер 2 тут все соберем? Не? Странно, ну да ладно. Пошли наверх. А, что, все? Так, а нам куда? А, нам туда и обратно, да? Ладно, я так и не понял, как сундук открыть, но как-то с ним. Так, вот она.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Rid.
Well, is he?
How would you describe this?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc among.
You must.
Sorry.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic...
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine...
Sorry, Doctor.
How is the Pembrokes?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel
Да,
that useful.
диалогов, конечно, немало.
I want
Еще
more.
будет.
I want to make things change.
И причем это все вот надо.
You should be proud of what you've achieved.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment,
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe...
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger.
Goodbye.
Ну ладно. Так, ладно, погнали. Мы, по-моему, всех открыли, а не двоих еще не открыли. Этого мы сожрали. Что нам надо сделать? Интересно. Средства от пневмонии, от сепсиса. Конечно, если их всех сажать, в принципе, немало опыта будет, особенно когда мы их всех изучим. Ну-ка, что-нибудь открылось снова дело.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying.
What's going on?
Pippa's tired.
During the war,
Maybe you're right.
You do realize you could both get fired.
Come on, Dr. Reid.
Do you know that Nurse...
That's not a surprise.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right.
Goodbye.
Как-то ни о чем.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls? When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to...
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you.
Так, заболевание снижает качество крови горожан. Снабжайте экзотическими лекарствами. Рядом с Дороти и узнайте о его состоянии. Крыса в больнице.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Tell me about it.
I don't want to talk.
I have to go.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Да, это понятно. Тут сохранять-то можно или... А, фиг. Нельзя. Так, давай, ладно, распределим тот опыт, что мы нафигачили себе. Блин, приходится спать, чтобы прокачиваться. Так. Удобно. Так, где кровать-то? Кровать. Так, во-первых, нам надо, я считаю, барьер открыть. Так, и нам надо... О, наука. Нет, это нам не надо. Вот это нам надо. Пока так вот сделаем. И укус повышает урон 5% исцелить, 100% урон. Ну давай. Давай. Потом надо будет копье изучить, я думаю. Да, ни хрена себе. Блин, и что делать тогда? Да, 500 опыта, 2600, 3000, 6000, правда мы так ничего о нем толкового и не узнали. Давай посмотрим, что за следующая сюжетка. И... Пойдем дальше. Как тебе попасть-то?
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body. Biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Удачно.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Окей. Ну, как-то так, да, получается, да? В принципе, я думаю, неплохо стартанули. Много чего открыли и пооткрывали способности. Вот, поэтому предлагаю продолжить в следующий раз. Ну, кстати, давай что заберем такое письмишко. Вот. Нам туда, да, потом. Вот, продолжим, наверное, в следующий раз. Я думаю, постепенно также будем проходить. Поэтому всем спасибо, кто смотрел и будет смотреть. Подписываемся, ставим лайки. И до следующей серии. Всем пока.